Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be looking at cloth simulation in Blender 4.3 for absolute beginners. So the idea here is just to learn what the basic concepts are. We're going to be setting up this little scene here and progressively working our way through the different stages, learning how to make things be able to collide, learning how to make the cloth fall, learning how to make the cloth collide with itself, and then we're also going to look at how do you take certain parts of your cloth and then give them little controllers, but like we're going to be pairing them with these empties, so you can actually move the empties and animate them if you want to have more control of your cloth. So this is an absolute fantastic beginner's guide to cloth simulation in Blender. If you really want to know how cloth works, this is going to be perfect if you're a beginner. So yeah, let's jump in. I'm going to show you step by step in a very simple way how you can make this cloth simulation that you see over here. So we'll start with the most basic way to demonstrate a cloth simulation. So we're going to select all of the objects in the default scene. We're going to press delete on the keyboard. And let's go Shift A and let's add in a plane. Now the first plane we're adding in, we're going to go ahead and scale that up because that's going to be our floor. So we have an surface for our object to fall on. So we're going to go S, so we're going to scale it up a little bit and then click. Now here's something really important I want to discuss with you if you're new to cloth physics. So if you press N on your keyboard to bring up your properties panel, you can go over to item, and if your item here selected, you can see now that we've scaled it, it's affected the scale here, and that's going to affect our cloth simulation. So whenever we scale in the object mode, which I just did, you want to go Control A or Command A if you're using Mac, and you want to apply the scale. Okay, that's super important. And now you can see these scales have reset back to 1, 1, 1. Also, you could go into edit mode and scale that way. And if you do that, you don't have to apply the scale in object mode. So now let's go in object mode, Shift A, let's go to our mesh option. And we're going to now add in a plane again. But this one, we're going to take it by going G and Z. We're going to move it up. We're going to tab into edit mode. And in the edit mode, with everything active, we're going to right click and we're going to go on subdivide. We're going to go down to our subdivide tab and let's give it something like 35 cuts. And then let's tab back out. Now the reason we need all of those cuts is because each one of these points is going to be moving in 3D space. If our cloth only had 4 points like this plane down here, it just wouldn't have enough topology to deform and make a proper cloth simulation. Okay, so we want to add topology. So we have the more topology. And so we can see this a little bit better. We're just going to go and rotate this plane like so. And now we have everything we need here just to demonstrate a basic cloth simulation. So we're going to select the object we want there to be a collision with. So this is the floor. You're simply going to go to your physics tab here. And in case of Blender, you only need to click here on collision. And it now adds a collision. Now all of these factors here are going to be things like friction, particle interactions, how thick the interaction boundary is. These are not things you're going to have to worry about just right now. For now, all you need to know is that this is a collision and our cloth now is going to know to collide with it. We can also go Shift A at any point and add in an object. For example, I could add in a cylinder and kind of move it down a little bit. And with this cylinder, I can also go to my physics and give it a collision. So now it'll also collide with the cylinder. You can add in any object you want in that way. But with that said, let's now click on the actual plane itself. And in this case, we're going to go one under. We're just going to click on cloth. And now this has a cloth simulation. And now our plane has cloth physics. So now what we can do is we can come over here to frame 1. And on frame 1, you can hit the space bar. And you can see we now have a simulation. How cool is that? With your plane selected, right click and go Shade Smooth. And this is pretty good, but there's some more things we could do here. We could go back to frame 1 and we can come here to our cloth quality under the cloth settings. If you go to your physics, you can bump this up to something like 12. But even with that, we still want the cloth to interact with itself. Currently, it's only interacting with the collision objects. So to do that, you're simply going to scroll down to the tab that says collisions. And don't worry about all the other stuff. That's not stuff you need to know right up front as a beginner. But the main thing you're going to want to know is under your collisions is to go down to self collision. And now the cloth simulation is going to be a lot more accurate because now if we go to frame 1 and we hit the spacebar, you can see it's a little bit slower, but the cloth now interacts with itself, giving us a nicer and more accurate result. Let's go back to frame 1. In this case, I'm going to take the plane and also rotate it this way a little bit. Let's hit the spacebar to run it again. And now we can see we kind of get these nice folds. Really, really cool. So that is, in a nutshell, the basics of a cloth simulation in Blender. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead. You could save this if you wanted to. I'm going to go ahead and just save this as another blend file. And I'm going to go ahead and select our cloth. I'm going to go to frame 1. And now I'm going to demonstrate to you how to actually pin your cloth. So this is going to be really important because you might want the cloth to not simulate everywhere. So in this case, the goal here is to have just a certain point attached and the rest of it full. So the way you do that is you're going to select your cloth. You're going to go over to your object data properties. You're going to go and create a vertex group, and you can just double click on it and call it pin. You don't have to rename it, but it's just nice to know it's the pin group. Then you can tab into edit mode and you can select any vertex you want. In this case, I'm just going to select a vertex over here at the top. And I'm going to go ahead and assign that vertex. Now I'm going to go back into object mode. And I'm going to go back to my physics. And now we're going to scroll down. And we're going to go to the area that says shape. And this has to do with the shaping of the cloth. We're going to go to where it says pin group. Click on it and let's select that pin group we created. Now if we go to frame 1 and we hit the spacebar, you're going to see that the cloth simulates. However, that one vertex we selected does not. And now you can see we have a cloth simulation. So that is the second element here, is how do we actually pin points? The cool thing is once you have that group set up, you can always go back to your object data properties. You can tab back in here and you can select any other point you want and assign that as well. And then go to frame 1 and hit the spacebar. And you can see you now have a way of much more accurately controlling your cloth. And this is all good. Again, this is going to bring us to the third thing we want to look at. What if we actually wanted to animate the cloth moving? So in other words, we want to grab these pin points and move them around in 3D space. So in that case, I'm going to go ahead. I'll just save this again. I'm just doing these little stages here. So that's the third blend file. And this example here, what we're going to do is we're actually going to tab into edit mode. I'm going to deselect everything. And with our pin group here, I'm just going to go ahead and click select so I can see which ones are selected. In this case, I can see here's one over here and one over here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to come to this point over here, the one that we first selected. I'm going to click on it. And I'm going to press F3 and it's going to come up with this option and you're going to type in hook. So click on hook and hook to new object. And then I'm going to deselect. And then I'm going to go and click select again. And I can see here was my second selection. I'm going to click on that one just by itself. Press F3 and go type in hook to new object, or you can just click on the previous selection here. So now both of these are hooked to an empty dummy object. We can go back into object mode, go to frame 1, select your cloth, and then go to your modifiers. You always want to make sure that the hook sits above the cloth. If it doesn't, your cloth simulation will happen and then the hooking will happen and it won't work. So we want the hook to happen first and then the cloth. So the cloth should be at the bottom of the stack. So now if we do something really cool, we can come to frame 0 or frame 1, whichever. And let's just go ahead and select one of these empties. So I'm going to select this one here. I'm going to enable auto keying over here. And with this selected, I'm going to press on frame 1, I'm going to press I to insert a keyframe. In an older version of Blender, you'll have a whole bunch of options pop up. In that case, you want to choose location. But in Blender 4.3, it'll just add in a keyframe without the selection popping up. So with that keyframe in place here, you can see it's now orange. Down here, a little marker. I'm going to drag up to frame 40. And on frame 40, I'm going to go G. And I'm just going to move this empty down to here. And I'm going to go ahead and turn off auto keying. So now I have this keyframe. So if I go to frame 1 and I hit the spacebar, we can now see that our point here is actually animating. How cool is that? And I might enable auto keying again, and maybe at frame 80, I'll bring it in closer to here. So something like that. And then maybe I'll go to frame 130 and I'll bring it kind of up a little bit, or maybe down, maybe bring it down. There we go. And now I'm going to turn off auto keying, so I have some more keyframes. Go to frame 1 and hit the spacebar again, and now you can see how cool that is. I could also do the same thing to this empty over here, but at this point, I'll just move it in real time. You can see here, I'm actually simulating the cloth. But yeah, that is really, really cool. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go back to frame 1. And now let's just say, for example, we want this to be cached. So let's make this 150 frames long. That's our animation. And let's click on our cloth, and we're now gonna go over to our physics. And we wanna go down to where it says cache. In this case, I wanna make it 150 frames long. So that's gonna now bake. So if we come here and click on bake, it's gonna bake this into our blend file. So now if I hit the spacebar, it doesn't matter if I tab in and out of edit mode, we still have this here. We don't have to rerun it every time. If you wanted to make changes to this, you'd have to delete the bake, make your changes, and then run the bake again. But in this case, this is our baked thing over here. So we have a cache. So now let's embellish this or make it look a little bit better. We're gonna take the cloth, we're gonna go over to our modifier, add modifier, search and type in sub, and now let's give it a subdivision surface. And let's also come here and add modifier, search, and type in solid, and let's give it a solidify. And now come over here to the solidify, and let's give it a little bit of thickness. How cool is that? So now if we go to frame 1, hit the spacebar, you can see we have cloth over here. We are manipulating it and doing all sorts of cool things. So yeah, that has been the very basics of cloth simulation in Blender. Now there are a lot more things that could be said. There's inflation, there's pressure, there's force fields that can kind of affect the cloth, so like wind blowing it around. But this was more just the idea of the absolute basics as a beginner to kind of get your head around cloth simulation and how to do some basic cloth manipulation. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys next time.